back to Science Advice. I've actually been a little late on posting videos. I've been a bit busy with work. So yeah, but let's, in today's video, I'm going to actually be talking about how I got into spiritualism, how I got into the organization that I volunteer with. And you might have noticed the new background. I went back to my old background just because I was like, well, this looks a little bit better. So anyways, but let's get right into the video. So I've been involved with Dada Bhagwan Foundation since 2016. I actually there's a spiritualism, spiritualism prayer that goes along with it. So I took that. It's called Gyan. It's self-realization. If you want to know more about it, I will link everything in the description below, or at least link the website in the description below so you guys can take a look at it, and if you're interested, that's great. But this organization really helped me out. Back in 2015 is when I first took Gyan. It was initially just to go for, they do a spiritual retreat every year, so let me back up, but they do a spiritual retreat every year, and that year I went through a lot of stuff with work. Wasn't happy with my work that I worked, my previous job that I worked with, and so I actually ended up doing this as more of like a vacation, like taking a vacation to a nice resort, hanging out, and then just kind of not really attending any of the spiritual talkings. But I took Gyan in 2015, and after that I realized, hey, this is a great prayer, because right after that I actually ended up quitting my job and looking for another job, and it led me to where I am today. So it's an awesome organization. It's an awesome how do I say this? It's an awesome spiritual prayer that you take. So yeah, I did that. Back in, and I didn't actually, so once I took Gyan, I quit my job, and then I didn't really get into like volunteering with them till 2016. 2016. The beginning of 2016, or beginning of 2016. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out the dates. So I didn't get into it then, but I also, but ever since I got into volunteering and all that stuff, it's really helped me kind of in my headspace, especially with like my depression and anxiety. It's really helped in that matter. I also, when taking that prayer, I realized, hey, this is really helpful for your depression and anxiety. I still deal with it, and I still dealt with it then, but I came out of it right away. I mean, not right away, it took some time. In 2016, I really went down a bad path, and I'll kind of get into that in actually my next video I will be posting, which I do want to talk about depression and anxiety. So I will do, or anxiety and depression, whichever way you want to call it, whichever way you want to say it. So I do want to get in, talk about that, but this video is mainly focused on Dada Bhagwan Foundation, how it really helped me, just in life, in my personal life and professional life. So it really helped me out overall. But back in 2016, I got into volunteering, slowly did a little volunteer work. So like we do, at least here in the Southeast, we do satsangs, which are spiritual talkings, and we hold them every Sunday. And so I was in charge of posting on our groups, our chat groups, or WhatsApp chat groups about satsang. So I would post it every Wednesday, and we then changed it to a different day to post, but I would post it every Wednesday and make sure, people, not make sure, but make sure I post it, and then we would hold those satsangs. So that was like my first really involvement in volunteering with them, and then came kind of doing more of like a bigger volunteer thing. That happened for a couple years, and then in 2018 we do like I said, we do it every year, a spiritual conference. These past couple years we haven't done it because of the pandemic, but we did spiritual conferences every year, and in 2018 we did one in Jacksonville, which was the southeast area, and we were actually given, the southeast area was given hospitality, a new department for the conference, and the conference is called Guru Purnima, which literally means Guru's teacher, Purnima's full moon. So the full moon, or teacher full moon, but it's, yeah, that's what the translation literally is. But we did the first big ever event for that. I mean, like, ever department for that, which was hospitality, and it was awesome. Everyone loved it. We would help people from elderlies in wheelchairs to people from elderlies that can't stand very long, so we get them food, get their plates, take them from like the food hall to the satsang hall, the spiritual talking hall, and then take them from the spiritual talking hall to their rooms, or if they want to go back to the food hall if it's lunchtime, you know. So we do that. We had our own designated area for the hospitality in the satsang hall, the spiritual talking hall. Sorry, I'm used to saying satsang, but spiritual talking hall. So it's a really great organization. I love it. I mean, I've been part of it for almost 5 years now, and I've kind of gotten up higher, like on levels. Like my first one was the hospitality, and then we went and then after that, actually during hospitality, there was a poster volunteer work, in Seva is what it's called, Seva's volunteer work. So there was a poster volunteer work, which we did, and I got chose for that, and we did, we'd have to get information from different centers like Seattle, San Francisco, Atlanta, Florida, or I mean, sorry, Georgia, Florida. So we have to get different information, kind of get how many people join, Mahatmas, which are people, how many people join our satsangs, our spiritual talkings. So like, and then what was the oldest who's the oldest person that did that took Gyan, which is the prayer, and who's the yeah, who's the oldest person, I think, yeah. And then we also did like, we asked for a center picture, so like we'd ask for Seattle center picture, or Atlanta or Georgia center picture, or Florida, and there's different centers. So like in Georgia we have Atlanta and Dalton. In Macon we have different centers, Marietta, Smyrna. So there's different centers in each state. But we mainly go through Atlanta for like the Atlanta main center here in Georgia. So yeah, what else? Yeah, so sorry, not what else, but yeah. So also we also do kind of yeah, so we did that. After that was another major Seva volunteer work, and then so those two were my main ones. The first year I ever did like something huge like this, and then after that everything came coming through. In 2019 we did a summer camp, and I was I want to say one of the main ones. I did help out, but I wasn't like the main lead. I was kind of second to lead, so I was, yeah, second lead. And that was a lot of work because it was in person, so we had to do contracts between campsites and how many kids we could, you know, how many kids we were gonna have. And the summer camp was more for youth, so like ages 13 to 17, and how many rooms we were gonna, or not rooms, how many lodges we were gonna have, and how many youth there were going to be. So the girls was a little less. We had about 5 youth, but the boys side had about 18, I want to say, if I remember correctly, from last year or from 2019. And so it was a great turnout, but I think we had a bit of hiccups, but it was lesson learned, so nothing big. And then after that came the hospitality for 2019, and I was one of the main leads on that. There was 4 of us, me and 3 other girls, and I mean, if you would have seen us, we were running around like a chicken with their head cut off, because everybody was asking for me or somebody else, and it was just like, what do we do, you know? So we had to, I mean, we handled it well. The first day was kind of chaotic because we didn't expect it to be so like crazy. We had a table set up near the food hall on both ends, and we were the main ones coming off from the elevator. So we thought both ends would get more of a traffic flow, but our end got more of the traffic flow. So everybody was coming in, and we were trying to get information and put on the bands. And there was two of us, and we couldn't do like the information and then putting the bands on, so we had to ask for help, which we did. We got some help, which was great, and we were able to kind of have the people having the helpers, or the Save Our Thieves, which are volunteers, put on the bands and ask the questions while we type it in. And so yeah, I mean, it was insane. And then after that, the second day, it got better. Throughout the week it was better because we learned from the first day, and it was awesome. It was an awesome experience. It was great. And that year, actually, I decided to do brahmacharya, which is celibacy. And I decided that the year before, but I really thought about it in 2019, and I really wanted to do it. So I spoke with one of the main, they're called Aptaputra Benos, which are, how do I say, like, mini, and this probably sounds so bad, but it's I would call it mini gurus. And what I can do is I will, in the description below, I'll put like the website of all this down, and in that website you can go through, and there's a books and media tab. If you click on that, there's a glossary. So if you put I think it's Aptaputra, and I'll spell it Aptaputra. If you put it in the search description, it should pull up. And I can always put it in the description as well below, so that way if you guys can find it, it will be in the description below. But the only way I can say Aptaputri and Aptaputra would be like a mini guru, basically. I mean, that's not the definition. I can't think of it right now. But I can say that they are one of the main ones to go to if you want to do brahmacharya, which is celibacy, like being celibate. And if you guys are under the age of 13, I would ask your parents what it means. I wouldn't, and I think I mentioned this in my get to know me tag, if I'm not mistaken. But if you, and I'm not gonna get into it here, you can always also look it up if you're over the age of 18. But if you're under the age of 18, ask your parents. It's just easier. But anyway, so I had to go through a bunch of things. I had to talk to her, and then fill out an application for it, because it's not something that they're just gonna say, okay, you can do it. You have to fill out an application. So you fill out the application, and in that you put in your parents' name. I believe it's their date of birth, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's just their name, and then have them both sign it. They want to make sure your parents are okay with it, because even though it is your decision, but it's also your parents need to be okay with it in the Indian culture, because parents always want you to get married and have kids, but it just doesn't work out for some people, for some folks, like me. So I decided to not get married and have kids. I just decided to give my life to the Dada Bhagwan Foundation. Basically, that's what it is. Also, you give your life to the Dada Bhagwan Foundation. So, but yeah, but going back, keep on going after that. But so that was the year I decided to do that, and then we were planning 2019, the end of 2019, we were planning to do we started planning for the summer camp, for the in-person, and then the pandemic happened. So we had to switch everything to virtual, and it wasn't so bad as we thought it would be. So once we did that, in 2019, me and another person, we both led the summer camp. It was halfway that we were leading it. So that kind of got me up to the, kind of got me up there, like, oh, they were like, oh, she really can take a lot of responsibility. And then in 2020, after 2019, 2020, not 2019, 2020, halfway of 2020. And then after that summer camp, after we finished the virtual, we're starting this year. We started planning for this year, the virtual. And actually, let me circle back in 2020. I think it was April or May, I was asked to be part of the national youth team. And it's high up there. You kind of get to know literally everything about anything. And I know that sounds so weird, but it's more just the youth stuff, just kind of planning everything. Like, we do retreats, we do summer camp. Those are the two main events for the youth. And we're also doing we also do the spiritual conferences every year. This year it's actually going to be in Adalaj, and it's going to be actually run by in India. Not Adalaj is India. Sorry, I should mention that. It's going to be run by the India team there in Ahmedabad, Gujarat. Adalaj is a city, and they're going to actually run the GP this year. So for our for US and Canada, we have a camp coming up for everybody basically. And so the youth have been asked to somewhat lead it with the help of other teams as well. So yeah, but I would definitely, if you're ever interested in learning more about this, definitely just go ahead and look at the website when in the description below. But yeah, I mean, this organization has really helped me in a lot of ways. I mean, it's just really helpful. And yeah, I mean, my mom actually really got me into it. I wasn't too into it in the beginning, and I will be open with that. But slowly I got into there, and I didn't know, because I didn't know that there was a youth involvement in this. So when I found out, I was over the moon happy about it. I was like, oh, okay, great, because at least there's more youths, it's just not adults. If it was just adults, I would have been like, oh, I'm not gonna do this, So I was really, really happy about that. So yeah, I mean, I would definitely, yeah, so yeah, that's basically what it is. But yeah, I mean, that's how I got into spiritualism. And I'm gonna actually go ahead and conclude the video here. I do, if you guys really, really want to know more about it, please click on the description link below, and I will put it in there, in the description box. Sorry, yeah, in the description box. And you can definitely check it out. They have plenty of centers all around the world. We have centers all around the world. So if you're here in the US, if you're in Canada, wherever you are, there's centers. And yeah, I mean, I can't, I can't give you more, I can't say more about it, because it's just an amazing spiritual group. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and, like I said, conclude the video here. We're about almost 20 minutes, so I'm gonna conclude the video here. Please like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe to help this channel grow. I would really appreciate it. And we will catch you in the next vlog. Okay, bye guys. Or catch you in the next video. Okay, bye guys.